Bandersnatch's unique narrative is probably its biggest selling point. It was public knowledge for a long time that Netflix and Charlie Brooker were developing a choose-your-own-adventure project for the streaming service, but since the project's release, there has been intense debate regarding the classification of Bandersnatch's narrative, or rather whether the project constituted a film, a video game, or something new and in between. Bandersnatch's narrative can be loosely summarised as an interactive story, where the viewer has some agency over what occurs, but not enough agency to directly influence events, or rather, the ludic elements of Bandersnatch, the gameplay, are always secondary to its narrative, meaning that the project only lets you intervene in instances in which its narrative coherence cannot be compromised. Bandersnatch begins with choices that effectively function as a training tutorial. Much like the now iconic beginning of Halo, we are given arbitrary actions to decide between, so that we become accustomed to the project's mechanics, with none of these options actively changing or diverging the narrative in a particular way. In the case of Bandersnatch, these choices are as arbitrary as the cereal you eat for breakfast or the song you listen to on the bus, but as the project progresses and the narrative continues, you are given increasing levels of autonomy over the protagonist's actions. The game gives you the ability to decide your own narrative path, and whilst this may appear to give you total freedom in a way that no project before has, the confines of rendering the narrative as a hybrid of film and video game mean that there are some limitations in our ability to choose. When we played Bandersnatch, we actively attempted to disrupt the narrative by denying where the game wanted to take us, specifically to the revelation regarding the protagonist's mother. After refusing the therapist twice in the office, we hit a narrative brick wall where, once we'd finished our particular pathway, we had only the choice to end our experience or to unveil the secret regarding the character's past. The game essentially forced us to pursue this pathway or end our experience entirely. If we thought of this as a linear movie experience, the information on Stefan's mother is clearly an important reveal that needs to be revealed before a certain point in the narrative structure. Because the episode can't choose for you, it has to make sure that it can take your choices into account while still incentivizing you to learn this information. This makes the experience similar to a beat sheet. We are led along a very linear path where preferences are given to us, but the story can only go down a few set directions, and certain plot points must always arise so that the whole makes sense. It's the whole that matters. Video games do the same thing, to an extent. Even in open world sandboxes, where you have the option to complete side quests or collect collectibles, you must learn required plot points to progress past certain acts of the game. The narrative will eventually force you to experience the essential moments if you want to pass go, but the participant is given much more control in, say, Insomniac's recent Spider-Man game than in Bandersnatch. Sure, if I want to defeat Doc Ock or find out more about Stefan's mother, then I have to go down a narrative path the game forces, but in the former I could keep swinging around New York indefinitely. There's nothing forcing me to do anything other than exist in the game world, but Bandersnatch oscillates between a passive experience where you watch and a participatory experience where you choose.